Hello and welcome to this here Special Moves podcast. My name is Mike Williams and these guys are Jake Lukowski and Liam McKelvey.
Hello.
Yeah, we switched places.
If
you're watching the video.
Yep.
Yeah, very minor adjustment. But it might be enough to rock your world depending on how nervous you are.
Unless you're a Spotify, iTunes, Castbox, or Podbean listener.
In which
you're
case,
welcome too, though.
Yeah,
welcome aboard.
That was utterly valueless if you were listening and not watching. But yeah, we're sitting slightly differently this week.
Mm-hmm. We like to keep them on our toes, don't we?
Yeah. You just can't predict this. That's what we're trying to say. On that topic of not being able to predict us
and being a bunch of outlaws.
Guess what? This is a podcast about Red Dead Redemption 2, isn't it?
Well,
largely.
Not all of it. This is worth knowing, right? Not all of it. And because we're kind guys, we're going to put timestamps in the description. So if you do want to partake in a podcast, but you don't want to listen to any Red Dead spoilers, even though we're only going to be talking about very, very early game spoilers.
Yeah, and no story stuff.
And then general world overview thingies. Yep. We will put timestamps in the description. Even if you're listening audio, iTunes, Spotify, blah, blah, blah. In the description of this podcast, you will find the timestamp. It might not be a hyperlink, so you'll have to do it yourself. But just for that crowd, because I know we did one last week all about Red Dead, so just wanted to say that.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Red Dead for the first portion of the podcast, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Battlefield 5, which is, I guess, one of the next big AAA games that are coming out, and there's some interesting news about like modes and what is actually going to be in the game at launch. We're going to talk about that. And also Liam has been playing a bit of the new Spiderman DLC.
I have.
So we'll talk about that later on. But first, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right, so it's good, isn't it?
It's all right.
It is
right,
good.
Move on. Battlefield 5. No, it's quite amazing. So how much have you guys played?
I don't have an exact time, but it feels like more time than I'd actually like to admit.
Okay.
I think I'm on about
more than 10 hours, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm about 12 hours in. I think I'm about 20-something% of the way through. I can't remember what it was. 23% of the way through. Because you can look at your progress and you can see your story progress and overall game completion. I'm about 23% through. So chapter 3's just started.
So it released on Friday the 26th, and the reviews dropped the day before. And they're like, worldy level reviews, like, it's like, was it 97 on?
97, yeah.
Yes.
Which puts it in the top.
It's Breath of the Wild quality.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, my biggest, I've played a lot of it as well. I've probably played about 10, 11 hours, but just slightly differently to you guys, I imagine. Because I'm a slow player anyway.
Yeah.
But...
Go on. Yeah.
That hurts.
Sorry,
but I play games, especially open world games like that, quite slowly anyway. But this is a slow game.
It is.
Yeah.
I love it for that, but
it's not Grand Theft Auto with guns, is it? Let's get that.
Grand Theft Auto is Grand Theft Auto with guns.
Yeah. Sorry, it's not Grand Theft Auto with
cowboys.
And
horses. It's very, very slow compared to it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's the opening is. We'll try and avoid story spoilers and stuff, but the opening gave me massive like Hateful Eight vibes, and I love Hateful Eight, and I know it's quite a divisive film, but a lot of people are saying that is 2.5 hours of talking. And I love that. I love it.
Yeah.
Right? That's it's not a million miles off what's going on in Red Dead Redemption 2's opening, and it's kind of the whole pace of the game. I think fast travel, mod cons and stuff. I've just been hammering Assassin's Creed Odyssey, trying to finish that game, and that is Assassin's Creed Odyssey is the gamiest video game ever in comparison to Red Dead Redemption 2, which is like. They try and strip back all the video gaminess out of it. Like if you want to get somewhere, well, you've got to walk there or you've got to ride your horse there slowly. You can't just hammer your horse because then your horse will get upset and panicky and it'll buck you off if you kind of try and make it go too fast. Yeah, and it really tries to hammer that message home right at the beginning. Like you've got this is a slow-paced game, and this is going to try and you're going to have to treat this game differently to basically every other open world game you've ever played, especially Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I feel like the podcasts over the past month have been like nice diary entries about your time with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And Red Dead Redemption 2 came at the right time.
Yeah.
Because as the weeks have progressed,
Yeah.
we've seen you slowly
hate
lose your
myself.
patience.
Go from kind of liking it to really
to
disliking it.
To remind himself exactly what it was he didn't like about the others. So it's great though, because it's funny, because then Red Dead Redemption 2's come out at the right time, and then you've gone, faith restored. You've been rejuvenated, so to speak.
I really have. It's one of the things I hate most about video games now. Right, the thing that pisses me off the most is kind of how skittish and quick and like, I was quite tempted to pick up Call of Duty Black Ops 4, but that essentially embodies a lot of the things I don't like about video games, like just being really quick and snappy and like quick fix, jump in, play this quickly, and you die quickly, doesn't matter, you're back in 30 seconds later, that kind of thing, and which is why I guess I like Battlefield over Call of Duty, because it's slower and it's more like deliberate. Like the animation pacing and detail and stuff in Red Dead plays into that a lot. Like, it takes you ages to like just hop off your horse, but if you're chasing someone, if you're riding your horse hard and you've just got your like rifle out, he'll just hop off the horse quite quickly. It's like contextual. And the animation is really important into how like believable it all kind of is. What are your like first thoughts of like what would you want to get for your test first about Red Dead Redemption 2?
It's made me play an open world game the complete opposite of the way I normally play an open world game. So, and I mean this like genuinely the opposite. So what I'm saying is, right, first of all, normally, like let's say Skyrim, I'm going to use that as the standard.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to use Horizon Zero Dawn and all that, because I don't know, a lot of the open world.
Skyrim's a baseline, isn't it? For a lot of people,
I would say so. Yeah. Or you can use anything I'm saying about Skyrim also applies to Fallout as well. So whatever, But Bethesda Game Studios' single player output basically is a large open world game full of quests, just like this one. Although what I do, and I'm not alone on this, a lot of people will just go off the beaten track straight away, because every cave, every building is another opportunity for you to get a new sword, a new gun, something long term that'll upgrade. You can customize it, blah blah blah. But with Red Dead Redemption, it doesn't present itself with as much opportunity for things like that, as there's not lots of set pieces. The world is just a big forest. It's not a big forest with a cabin or a cave in it. It's not all that. And on top of that, the guns that you get aren't that plentiful, really. You've got your revolver, and they purpose, like you were saying about the game being slow, a lot of the progression's slow as well. So I've not really been incentivized to go off the beaten track, because I've just been finding strangers and I've been doing little bits. But I'm more interested in like helping out the camp, which again in Fallout 4 I hated the settlement building, hated Preston Garvey, hated this cowboy hat.
So if to people who don't know, do you want to explain the camp like mechanic?
Okay, so in Red Dead Redemption 2, like you mentioned at the beginning, you're a bunch of outlaws, and it's kind of like a family through just your bond with the leader, I guess Dutch, and you are essentially trying to escape from civilization and the law. So you're putting out camps outside towns, and then kind of I don't know, you're looking for like local work, or looking to scam people or rob people or whatever. And this
you are definitely criminals. It's worth mentioning.
Yeah, for sure.
You definitely are. The game kind of forces you into these situations a lot of the time where you've got to be a knobhead, really.
Yeah.
And there's not,
you can't play it too nobly. It's not like you're the Wanderer from Fallout, where you can be pure good or pure bad wherever you want to. This game, it does remind you a lot of the time, whether you're guilty through association with maybe some more I don't know, frictional members of the team. I don't know, is frictional a word?
I'll take it.
You know what I'm saying, though, don't you? The ones that are a bit more callous, like Mika. If you've played the game, you'll know what I'm on about. So certain characters like that will get you into trouble, even if you're trying to play it as straight as possible. Now, anyway, so all this band of misfits, they all live in this camp, and the camp is essentially where you get fed, you have a shave, you get missions and all that. It's where you rest your head for the night, which all of this is important. You do need to eat, take care of your hygiene, go to sleep and all that. And you can upgrade it. You're incentivized to upgrade the camp, because you can unlock lots of cool stuff through there. And
some of it is like self-sustaining stuff for the camp.
Yeah. So, for example, right, you have to bring food back to the camp. So go out, hunt some deers or whatever. One of the upgrades I'm not going to mention any of the big upgrades because they are quite spoilery, but there's some things you can unlock that are really cool. But this one, pretty straightforward. So the food runs out at a set pace.
Yeah.
If you upgrade the cook's camp, whatever his name is, Pearson, I think.
Pearson, yeah.
He can make the food last longer.
Yeah.
So just little stuff like that. Sounds like something that they did have in Fallout 4, but for some reason, I just didn't give a
Yeah,
hoot.
it's because it's again, it goes back to what I was saying at the top there. It's less kind of video gamey because it's not like a HUD that pops up. It's a book. Like you open a book of like physically in the world, and it makes a huge difference.
Read it.
You got to read it. You got to look at what it is, and then then when you do it, you're not like you don't get like a thing that hovers in front of you that you can place anywhere you want in the camp in a very video gamey way. It just kind of appears. There's a little cinematic thing that just goes that gives you a little quick tour of what you've just bought, and it does feel like you've just, you've earned some money or something, you've brought it back to the camp, you've dumped loads of money into the camp ledger kind of thing, because you've got to share your income kind of thing with the camp and keep things, financially and in terms of the actual resources that you've got. But then you've done that, you've brought your money back and you've gone, we've got enough money now to get like something that, I'm trying not to spoil it, but you can get something that will maybe generate some food or something like that.
Upgrade your medicine cabinet or whatever. Or you can, like you say, add additional hitching posts
and
for the horses.
And people thank you, and then the way, a lot of the talk has been about the NPCs in the world, right, and how they interact with you, and that's what a lot of it is, like really clever contextual, like if the player has done this, then this person will say, hey, thanks for doing that. Like just later on, like you might walk past them and they'll go, oh, hey Arthur, thanks for sorting this out for us. That's great.
Hey, DW.
Yeah, exactly.
I keep getting reminded of that. Every time I hear, hey Arthur, I'm like, shouts out the BBC crew massive and listening. I don't know if that's going to apply to anyone who's not British or our
Don't
age.
even say what it is. Hey DW, right? If you get it, if you know, you know. Innit? So Liam, what's been your first? Like, what was your first thing that you've would want to share with the world?
I don't know. It's just the sheer amount of detail for me, like, and just how it seems like everything is like animated and interactable. Yeah. Just like a lot of my time has been spent just walking up to NPCs, just chatting to them, and then they'll say like, "Hey, do you want to come hunting or do you want to come fishing?" It's like, and I've just spent most of my time like doing these like little companion quest type things and just building relationships with the camp members. It's got
to be said, like the lack of the continuity of the game is amazing, and what I mean is there's no loading in for anything, and I'm not talking like from one area to the next. I'm talking you walk up to someone, you start talking to them, seamlessly you're in a cutscene, seamlessly you're in a mission, and it feels like this all, and it's that thing that God of War was trying to do really explicitly with one single camera shot. It's that same kind of feeling of it's just one continuous story that you're in, except it does like go into letterbox, it does cut loads of times and stuff, but it's that same sense of like you're just going through this one.
The momentum hasn't stopped. No, even though it's a slow game, I feel like it's one constant.
You said the first thing you said to me, Jake, which when we just started playing it, was that you've have been role playing Arthur a lot.
I've been playing. I'm normally a prick when I'm playing games.
When you're playing games, right?
Yeah. Well, much like real life. No, when I'm playing games, a lot of the time, I will just go out and just. First thing I do is I find a town and try and get better equipment by robbing it. First thing I do every time.
A gamey idea, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. If anyone sees me, throat slit. Simple enough, innit? But in this one, I'm very much inclined to play it as like I'm playing it exactly how Arthur plays it. He seems very vengeful. He doesn't like small talk. He
is a knobhead.
He is properly a knobhead actually. And like the one thing that I was saying to Liam on the drive here, the only thing I've been rolling my eyes at all the way through is that yes, Arthur, we get it. You don't like John Marston. Every conversation, he's like an obsessed ex. He talks even to other people. He's like, John, shut up, you bellend.
Okay, so that's like a story spoiler. We did warn you, but it does kind of
very early. Though.
It is very early, but I do like the reason for it, and I kind of get it, like because he seems like a bitter kind of guy. Like he would just hang on to stuff because he's like he's a knob, but he's kind of got this kind of like code of ethics. Like he wouldn't screw people over if he was in the same group as them or whatever. So therefore, so I do like that, and I like how the game just kind of almost really, I don't want to say forced, but the game really pushes you to like not think like yourself and think like
an outlaw.
I don't know how it's managed to do that for me, because normally I'm completely immune to all those charms. Oh, be good. No. Like pickpocket, slit throats.
Yeah.
That's all I'm interested in.
Yeah, but hey, what's up, Emperor Palpatine? Give me a red lightsaber.
Come on, baby. Yeah, and they're like, oh, let's fix the camp and get the people back in action. Shut up, Preston Garvey. Face blown off. Not on this one, no. I'm really into it. And you know what? They've got me right where they want me because you know this is a story about camaraderie, and we know it's going to go tits up.
We know where
where it ends exactly.
Yeah. We know we've played Red Dead Redemption, which is narratively after Red Dead Redemption 2. This is a prequel, so you know where it's going. But still, you just kind of there's so much richness and detail in there. You just
and you want to know, like say with like Better Call Saul on TV, right? You know it ends at Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So when you see all these big characters, you go, right, what's up with you?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? And I'm like, well, how is this gonna happen?
I want to see how they all get to where they are.
Yeah. So I'm really enjoying that aspect of it, which is the complete opposite of normal. And but I don't know. You know, this is something that I don't know if this is a slight on the open world or just a huge bonus for the story, but I have not at all explored or wanted to explore.
I
really
well what I feel like what is happening is the game pulls you around the open world anyway. And if you've got to get to somewhere, you've got to flip and ride your horse there. And it takes you ages. And I said to Liam yesterday that I basically have played The Revenant, the movie, like twice, and that was one of the real highlights for me because it was like I was hunting as part of one of the quests. Like I was hunting this thing, and it kind of went wrong. The quest kind of finished, and he says, "Do you want to stay here or do you want to keep trying?" And I'm like, "No, I think I'm going to take this thing on." Right, and anyway. Didn't pan out very well.
I died.
So I kind of lost my horse somehow, and because I'd followed it up like this cliff or something, so I couldn't get to my horse, and then I couldn't get. So it took me ages to get to my horse. I finally got to my horse, and then I was miles away, and I had to ride home. When I was riding home, I just got caught up in something like some bounty hunters were after me or something like that, and then so by the time I got back to camp, I didn't have my hat. I was covered in dirt, and my hair was long, and my beard was like here.
That's probably my favourite part, just the random stuff that happens in the open world.
Yeah, and
it's great.
But it feels like really dynamic, and you feel and it gets to the point where if you're riding along, and it's kind of it's a rock star thing. Like they do this, like you encounter someone on the side of the road who needs help, but in this it's very very slick and fluid when it does happen. And it doesn't just come up as like a blip in your map. They go, "Oh, I'll just go to that blip." Someone just runs across your path. Sometimes you go, "Stop! I really need your help, right?" And you're like, "Oh, fine." You go, but you get kind of annoyed when you're like, "Mate, I'm going through my own stuff here."
Yeah.
But they clearly need your help, and you're like,
I had a point where I think I was riding into the town because I needed to go buy some like revolver bullets or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was crossing a bridge, and some bandits were just at the other end of the bridge, like, "You got to pay the toll if you want to get across here." And I was like, "Nah." I was like, "I don't think so." And they were like, "You will pay." So I just gunned them all down, looted them all, carried on my way.
Yeah.
Oh, when you did a hip fire revolver.
Oh, that's good.
Very nice.
Very, very good. Can I ask you a question about the horses? Because
please ask.
When the game came out, they said, "Oh, you're going to be bonding with your horses." Don't care. Shut up. But when it came out, hey, I fucking love that bit.
Yeah.
It's like a little mini game.
Yeah.
Like, that when every time you level up your horse, you're gonna get like better stamina. You're gonna unlock new abilities.
But
how do you feel about the horses, guys?
You do feel an attachment.
I like them.
I really like it as well. You do feel an attachment in the sense that, like, not just from the stats, because like you just said there are stats in the game that build up really slowly in an RPG-ish way, but very very subtle, very like background. It's not like, whoa, you've leveled up. It's like
25% more.
It's just gradual.
If you like sprint a lot, you'll just get better at sprinting. So it's very San Andreas.
Exactly. And it's just a bit more detailed. And there's more. So with the horses, I feel like with like my Revenant experience, I feel like I had been through some stuff with this horse, and then so there comes a point in the story where it's like, "Oh, do you want another horse?" I'm like, "No, I really don't. I like this one, and I'm looking after it, and like he's been places with me, man. And it really is like a kind of really role playing kind of experience in a way that I haven't had in many role playing games.
That's what I mean.
To be honest, or in any game, it is quite amazing what it's doing. Having said that, though, there's a couple of things that are really like Rockstar game. Like, so there's one of the early shootouts, right? There's you and a couple of others, and it kind of goes down, and it's like, oh, it's this other gang, and you know, obviously you take them all out, and you're like, shit, we just wiped out. And because of the way the game's been presented up to that point, really, really early on, you're like, shit, I just wiped out an entire gang of, you know, they've all got the same surname and they're a family. But it just turns out there's hundreds of them, and you just end up, you know, and there's a sequence where you probably kill maybe 40 of them as collectively.
Yeah.
And it's still a bit like, okay, so it is a bit like of a Rockstar game occasionally, where it's like, you know, you're being really immersive in role playing a lot of the time, except for when you want me to just single-handedly kill 40 guys.
Yeah.
It's like, it kind of pulls you out of it a little bit in some instances like that. Where it did for me anyway. Because the first time I killed him, I was like, that was a big gunfight. I really like the shooting mechanics and stuff in it. Because like you can easily miss, and it doesn't lock on very hard, and you know, and it feels like it takes a while to get through a gunfight, but you still end up massacring entire towns and shit like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, fucking hell, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know how you felt about that. Did you bat an eyelid, or were you just like, oh, it's a game, so...
I haven't noticed it
Nathan Drake
too much. It's not as bad as like Uncharted, where you're literally gunning down hundreds of people in a row. I think like the most I've ever seen in like a shootout has been like 15 maybe, which is still a lot. Yeah. I know, but did you not go through a town at one point where I did, yeah.
I was counting heads, and it was over 20.
Oh,
I was just so engrossed in the moment that I didn't.
I actually ended up doing that mission 4 times. That one.
Wow.
Because
quadruple deaths.
No, not quadruple deaths. I had 2 bugs that broke the quest, and I had to restart. Okay. And I couldn't kill myself, so I had to break the game by running out of the circle. And then, so I've had quite a few bugs that are like that, you know, quest breakers.
Yeah, my horse has got stuck in a tree.
It's frustrating because you can't like fresh load up. Yeah. And that particular quest, if that's what you're talking about, it's actually longer than you think, because you've got to go and do a lot of talking before.
Yeah.
And I sat through that a lot, and like, so Sian was sitting next to me watching. We're about 40 minutes on that quest, like, because it just.
I'm glad you've been. I've been in a hole a couple of times. Like the Revenant one, luckily it turned out into a great like story, like that I thought was cool in the end anyway. But like I've been in a couple of situations where I just feel like I've done it wrong, or I've done it like not how Rockstar wanted me to do it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, you know,
worked out all right, just about.
Well, but gone against me a couple of times, where I've just had to not like either redo it or just kind of leave it, whatever it was, you know. So it isn't a perfect, you know. Obviously, it's just come out, so they're going to be patching it and stuff. But there are things in there that aren't, aren't quite up there for me.
I can't see it pleasing everybody.
No.
It's very slow.
I love a slow film. I love slow westerns, and I love slow films set in the snow. So for me, I'm right at home.
It's like the ideal game. No,
exactly. And I'm very much into it. I like the wandering around sort of thing. But this is weird because I'm just going from point to point. I want to build the relationships up with the camp.
Yeah.
But I can see a lot of people getting bored of this. I can. It's. For me, fine, I'm a CRPG head, so, you know, give me as many menus as you want, and I'll look at all the dialogue, and I'll spend ages going back and forth. But,
it feels slow to me like a game for older people as well. For like, if you, and even like I often think, you know, if you're working full time and stuff, you haven't got like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Sorry to bring it up again, but it completely disrespects your time, in my opinion, by just giving you endless amounts of things you've already done before, like just go tick these boxes off. You've cleared one outpost. Well, there's like another 240 of them in the game that you've got to clear. So you know, it's that kind of padding that you haven't got time for. But this is such a slow game, such a massive game, and should take you just as long as it takes you to finish Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I don't feel disrespected, and I feel like I could come home from work and play it for a couple of hours, or and just chill out with it for ages and have a cool experience every time, and not just go around ticking things off and finishing up an area of the map or whatever.
It doesn't really have like map icons that are
not
random,
at all,
does it? You know, and every quest is cinematically presented as well. So even if and every quest has been good. I don't know if they've just front loaded the good stuff and it'll get shitter as it goes on, or if it's going to be Witcher 3 level where every quest is like a bit of an event or something. But it's up there. so far, with Witcher 3's early game quests, every quest ends up on like an adventure. Do you know what I mean? Everything here. And another thing is they did the classic like carrot on a stick thing, which again Skyrim doesn't do, and I think that's something. Again, there's one thing Skyrim does have over this is that you can't go around if you want to just exploring the world at the beginning and have as good as a time as something like Skyrim, because the beginning quests all give you unlocks. So what I mean is, you don't have the ability to hold 2 weapons at once at first. I don't even know if you can't
you've
buy
only
a
got one
horse.
like revolver thing.
Exactly.
You can sling one thing over your shoulder.
Yeah, because every single quest is giving you an unlock. Like I'm just playing through the story because I want to wait until I've got the full. I don't know. Like, is there anything else I'm going to unlock? Am I going to unlock a new type of merchant or whatever?
I think Rockstar games like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, they do that anyway. Like all the way through. Like it's not until how long into San Andreas until you unlock the gang warfare mechanic thing, which is a huge part of the game.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
You don't get that for ages and ages and ages. So I know what you mean. It like drip feeds stuff to you gradually. But like we were saying earlier, I've been trying to like role play it and like what would I be doing next kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I there's quests in there that are just, they seem like they don't really do anything other than, there's a quest where the whole time you're just in a saloon getting drunk and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like it's really good, but then it leaves you in a situation afterwards that you're like, oh shit, and you're in an absolute state, and you've got to so you feel like, because all these things are in place, like you've got to groom yourself, you've got to feed yourself, you've got to look after your horse, you've got to feed, you've got to look after the camp. All these like responsibilities are like there for you to like, okay, I've got to like sort my face out, I've got to have a wash, I've got to, do you know what I mean? I've got to sober up and all this.
It's not as annoyingly regular as I thought. I thought, because it's like this day and night.
It's
cycles.
not a survival game.
It's not like, exactly. It's not like I need to keep. Oh, I can't pick up this fucking watch because I've got to have some beef jerky on me in case I get hungry. Which a lot of games make that mistake. Like you don't have to brush your horse every single time. It's not that much. It's an inconvenience, but
it's a benefit if you do it.
Exactly, yeah. Because every day, if you hitch the horse, pat the horse, brush the horse, you're getting 3 points of bonding. Yeah. So you don't have to, but stuff like that. So it's a good way of making you want to do it without having to do it.
But even that is a very video gamey way of looking at it, and the game doesn't really force you to look at it that way either. Because I just clean my horse when he's dirty. And you can see he's run through some rivers, he's run over dirt tracks, he's got a bit of dirt on. You can physically see the dirt on his coat, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you just brush it off. You just jump off and brush it off.
My horse is white as well. So
yeah, me too. I've got a light coloured horse. Yeah, so
keep him clean.
Cowboy problems. How do you see this like translating to Red Dead Online? Can you see yourself, once you've finished up the story, would you like dip into Red Dead Online and just play Westworld for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I think I will play Red Dead Online. I don't know how. I think it's going to be kind of similar to GTA Online, where you can do like heists and stuff and form a posse. And it's like, you can form a gang in GTA Online.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be as simulation-ish as the campaign is, with the hunger meters and the dirt meters and trying to keep them all topped up and that.
I really hope it is, because I really hope it like restricts you in the same with like reality, like logic.
Yeah.
In the same way that the single player does, because that's like the magic of the game. Because if you lose all that, then it just becomes Grand Theft Auto 5.
I think GTA Online does it as well. So like you actually do have stats in GTA Online. So like if you spend more time shooting, you get better accuracy and stuff like that. So I think it could work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was like if they keep the mechanics in. Imagine you need a deer for your camp, so you go out hunting and you have to take a couple of boys with you in case you meet another posse online.
Well, they've said that, haven't they? You can have player camps and stuff like that.
So
that's cool.
So that, you know what I mean? That desperation will force people into fights. So if you do want to be a sim and you're hunting a deer, but then you can see other players, you're going to have to take them out because you'll starve.
Can you like raid other players' camps and stuff like that?
It almost gives you the scope to have, Grand Theft Auto roleplay servers like Legendary for just creating rules and stuff that every player in the server has got to follow. So it becomes like a really realistic simulator type thing.
Yeah.
almost like because they've got basically a lot of that in place in the game now.
Yeah.
Why would you take it out? Maybe there'd be options. Maybe there's different types of server. Like if you want to, have different limitations.
Like a roleplay server, or
that have got different, like a hardcore one that's got different restrictions and stuff. But whatever. I think I can see myself playing Red Dead Online, at least giving it a good go, because I did enjoy Red Dead Redemption 1 online, and it was
some of my best gaming memories are playing Red Dead Redemption 1 online with my friends in high school.
Essentially, that was essentially a prototype for what was going to be GTA Online, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like everyone sharing the same map and stuff.
Yeah.
That was a new thing, and it was really cool. So I think lastly, the only thing I haven't mentioned, we could do a whole podcast on it, and we're not doing that because we know that a lot of people. You're sitting there playing it, and you're just constantly thinking of things to say.
Sorry, anyone on PC.
Yeah,
doesn't care.
Well, we did a gun, the 10 essential questions. You can,
Yeah, go and watch that.
Go watch that. So there's constantly things coming up that you want to say about it, but it's been reviewed how many times and whatever, and people have said loads of stuff. But I just want to quickly mention the visually, it's I've been playing it in HDR on 4K on a PlayStation 4 Pro, which isn't even it's Xbox One X is apparently they're going to be the best one, isn't it?
Digital Foundry said the Xbox One X version looks next gen.
Yeah, and so I'm not even playing it on the optimal, and my 4K telly is just like an average 4K HDR TV. It's not like a top of the line one, and it just looks absolutely breathtaking in a realistic sort of way. In with like photorealism. To me, it's like how some games can kind of achieve it sometimes in certain just in certain moments. Yeah, and for me, it's like quite infrequent. But then this game achieves it like quite regularly. Like you'll just ride over the top of a cliff or something, and it'll just suddenly look to your eye like that's so realistic. And there's a couple of moments in the story where you encounter a new kind of landscape or something you haven't seen before. Really early on, actually, it happens straight away in the first couple of hours, and it really is like I don't know. It just looks photorealistic, quite closely to photorealism. It's like a really good achievement. I think it's amazing. Hasn't got the best trees though. I reckon the trees are amazing, but they're not
the best trees you've ever seen.
They're not as good as the Witcher 3 trees, because the Witcher 3 trees are more like stylized, and they've obviously gone, look at them trees in the Witcher 3. Let's get some of that in there. So they've tried. They've given it a good go, and the trees do have this windy shake.
Right, yeah.
Just not quite as good. Everything else though. Oh, and the sky. Look at the sky at night.
Yeah.
It's shit.
What?
Look at the stars.
I did notice it was like going from sunset to evening. It was a bit abrupt, and I had quite a good view of the skybox, and it was very abrupt changing.
Next time it's at night, look at the stars. It's like it's just navy blue with like someone has gone on like Microsoft Paint and just gone white, yellow, white, yellow. I don't know how they thought they'd get away with that.
All right, tree and
it's really bad. What they need to do is blur it out.
Most people aren't going to be looking at the sky all that much.
Exactly. That's what they thought. They were banking on that. Not this guy.
I'll tell you what my final thought is. Right, Undead Nightmare 2, innit? Just get that done.
I don't want to say. Okay, I've seen a couple of things in the world. Right.
You reckon?
Okay.
And it's pretty bonkers. And
honestly,
I'll tell you after this, and I don't know if it's Undead Nightmare or anything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's actually references to Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay.
And I might have been some kind of world first discovery or something. But I didn't get anything for it, and it's so weird, and I don't want to say what it was, just in case it's quite common.
Oh my god, okay.
And a lot of people encounter it. But it was...
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen some very...
I've seen some shit.
Honestly, I've seen some very un-Western stuff in it.
Okay.
All right. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. So that is a lot of discussion about Red Dead Redemption 2. There's that's probably about a quarter of what I wanted to say, but let's just move on to something else in it. Yeah. We've done it.
Break.
We've done it.
Yeah, nice one for those that marathon through to hear us.
But if you're playing it alongside, which a lot of people are, biggest gaming event of the year in it by miles.
Yeah,
for sure.
So sorry if you're not interested, and hopefully you did enjoy it if you are interested.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Battlefield.
Oh sure.
5?
Yeah, Battlefield 5. So Battlefield 5 is a game we played with our patrons. So if you're listening, you'll remember our fantastic time on it.
Yeah.
Now it's a game by EA. Obviously, EA is seen as somewhat of I don't know, troublesome studio when it comes to launches, because their online model has changed like from one extreme to the other lately, and they've gone from kind of very microtransaction ridden games that were up for heavy criticism, like Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
And they did games that like Battlefield 1 that had the season pass. And it was the same cost as the base game.
Yeah.
And then now in like a kind of reformed New Testament EA, they've gone like, we're going to make all the stuff. It was though, and it's like how God was a bad boy, and then he came back in the Bible to New Testament, and he was nice.
Did he charge £80 for his services though?
No, he didn't. No. He just, anyway, yeah. So Battlefield 5, right? They're putting out free DLC, free season pass stuff. They're saying you're not gonna have to pay for anything after the game comes out, right? Yep. Sounds good, doesn't it? And then I looked at this, and by the way, I'm hugely anticipating this. Like, I'm eagerly.
Me too. Yeah.
You know, I've meant. Yeah, we're all gonna play it, I guess. And I'm
big Battlefield fan.
I keep saying it to you guys, like, oh, I can't wait. Blah blah blah. Speaking to some of our patrons as well. Oh, let's squad up, whatever. I'm really looking forward to it, right? Big time. Played the alpha, played the beta, loved it. So I looked at the roadmap which they put out for Battlefield 5, which is out in just a few weeks, like mid-November, I think.
Mm-hmm. 20th of November.
Okay.
If you want to wait.
It. So the 20th of November, unless you pay £80 for the like super special edition to play it 5 days early, or you pay £100 a year.
And you get it a bit earlier.
Again, which that's confusing.
So 3 different release dates for Battlefield 5, which is a bit
based
odd.
on, let's be clear, how much you pay.
Yeah, exactly.
So the more you pay, the earlier you get it.
Yeah. So that's a bit meh. And then I looked at this and roadmap, right? I've got it open here. December to January, they're adding The Last Tiger, which is like a new story mission.
Okay. Single player story mission. They're adding a practice range, which is genuinely a map with wooden dummies in it, and vehicle cosmetics. Whatever. Then, January to March. So bear in mind, the game's out in November. January to March, they're bringing in Rush, the game mode that everyone knows. The Battlefield staple
Rush.
The best game mode.
Which is not going to be in there at launch.
No.
Which is going to be the first Battlefield game without it in at launch.
Which is disappointing.
For ever? Or when was the first game with Rush?
I remember when Battlefield...
It was just Conquest, wasn't it, in the first one? Very first Battlefield game.
Yeah, I remember Battlefield Bad Company 1, when that came out, that didn't have Conquest in at launch. You had to wait until...
But it did have Rush.
It did have Rush, but not Conquest.
Miles better,
so that's weird, right? But so, like, it could be like... by the way, this is January to March. So it could be as late as March for Rush, which is like months and months and months.
Which is really bad, because that is what... Battlefield is to me. It's like not having team deathmatch in a Call of Duty, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure. It's a big or no search and destroy or whatever in Counter Strike, whatever the fuck. Yeah. Then it says here as well, mission Grand Operations. Now I'm assuming it's a new mission for Grand Operations.
Yeah, so Grand Operations is the big multiplayer mode, which is kind of like Rush, but
big.
It's got like
takes
Rush
place
elements.
over multiple matches. over different maps.
Yeah. So Battlefield is a big team-based multiplayer game, right? 32 versus 32 players, like traditionally maximum kind of thing, if you want.
Yeah.
And then so the Rush is like 2 objectives at a time, attack and defend. One team is attacking 2 objectives, one team is defending the 2 objectives.
Yeah.
If you take them out the map, you push forward. It's got this really cool Battlefield mechanic.
Push and pull.
It's great. It's really good. And then so Conquest is just like 5 places that you've got to capture.
Capture and defend.
Very traditional. So Rush is like quite a uniquely Battlefield thing that I really like. So then Grand Operations is a much bigger, in my mind anyway, a much bigger Rush thing, except there's kind of hybrid, like some of them you just have to capture 2 locations rather than destroy an objective or whatever.
It's like a kind of it's like the hybrid of more. It's the mega mix. It's the Battlefield 5 mega mix,
and then it just kind of evolved, and it's like a really big game where like it takes place over a couple of in-game days.
So it's like normally battles that happened in real life. So like you were saying with like Rush, it's one big map, but the first part of it will take place in a third of the map, and then you're pushed to the next third. So that happens on Grand Operations. The map is in thirds, but then after that you're on a second map which is in thirds. So like it's over multiple maps, multiple areas, multiple things. It's a big. So I'm assuming that is going to be on at launch, but it just says here mission Grand Operations. So I'm assuming they're adding a new
one.
mission.
I'd take that to mean it's a new mission.
Like
not like the mode,
which makes a lot of sense.
And also they're adding Squad Conquest, which I'm guessing is Conquest, but you have to be a full squad to enter.
Yeah, it's like little groups of 4. And then I think it's a smaller game mode. It's like 16, 20 people, something like that.
I've never in any of the Battlefield. They've been doing this for years now. Like just having this smaller playlist of like squad based. I've never got into.
I tried it once in Battlefield 3, and it wasn't really my thing.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I think Battlefield 3 might be one of the first that they did try and really do that and scale down their thing. And
it's quite nice if you've got a good squad. It's like if you've got a good fire team in Destiny, which is much smaller. You know, it can work if you're a team. You know, but yeah, Rush being left out till January to March, and then in starting in March, Firestorm, which is something I was really looking forward to.
Which is Battle Royale.
Which is Battle Royale. So Call of Duty did Battle Royale. Everyone kind of rolled their eyes, and they nailed it. Right. This is another Battle Royale mode. This is 64 players, so slightly smaller than traditional Battle Royale games, which are normally around the 100 mark.
I've got to say, I feel like this has got flop written all over it. Not the game, the Battle Royale.
The Battle Royale.
Yeah, I feel that's completely waste of time.
I wonder why they have delayed it till March, because they did announce it was going to be at launch originally, and now they're delaying it. And is it because they're trying to adjust? Because
it's a blackout.
Yeah, because they were just doing it standard as fuck, and then they saw what... Because, I mean, even Fortnite is adjusted to fit... Blackout, because Blackout had zombies in it, right? And then now Fortnite has got the Fortnitemares like Halloween thing with PvE, zombies. Yeah. So you know, it's like that's what they're all copying each other, obviously. And I was really looking forward to that idea because I do like a bit of the genre and the idea of it being squads. Oh man, yeah, wicked. Because I love Battlefield 5. The beta and alpha, the way that the squads works, I've told you before, I fucking love it. And then they're adding a completely new, never seen before multiplayer mode as well as Firestorm, but they've not even named that yet. And they're adding another massive full map based in Greece. So that is the Battlefield 5 roadmap. Now, it sounds good that, and I know what people are going to say. Like, people are going to say, well, they're just cutting it out and they're going to give it you later. But, hey, maybe it's because they've... I feel positive about a lot of this. I'm a bit annoyed about Firestorm being 6 months later.
Yeah,
it's such a fast moving genre. They'll be working on it, and then something might happen. Like Fortnite might change the game again, or something else.
Else might come along. There might be a completely different
how old's PUBG? Like 2 years old, tops. Exactly. The battle royale genre was like big for 2 years.
It's they really are. The Battlefield isn't the kind of game that you can quickly turn around a thing on because it's like destructible environments, massive, really detailed levels. You know, it's not the kind of game where you can just quickly bang out a mode. Whereas COD is like, you know, it's basically just like a really tight shooting experience, and you can do whatever you want with that. And they kind of pushed it a little bit by having a huge map, and that's all they have to do really. And even then, all they did was put loads of little maps in one big map, which is I like that. It's clever. It's a clever idea, but they could just do it. How does Battlefield do that? They just can't.
I know that they're doing a separate map for this.
Yeah,
and as the name implies, Firestorm. The ring going in is fire, which is slowly getting smaller. And regards squads, you've both obviously played the alpha and beta. You know when you like support class, you can start making barricades and stuff, a bit Fortnite-y. Yeah. So you'll be building. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And you'll be restructuring and repurposing debris and stuff like that. So I'm interested. You know, I am, but waiting 6 months to see. I'm not interested enough that I'm going to be going, I can't wait for this now. I'm going to be like,
I'll be thinking, will people still be playing it by the time this mode actually launches?
Exactly.
It's a long time.
You can never quite tell with multiplayer games.
No,
they could,
especially Battlefield.
Yeah, because it could live on for years. It could die within a month.
Because Battlefield community is like they'll pick it up and they'll either go, this is the one now, or they'll go no and just go back to Battlefield 4.
Like they did with Battlefield 4, yeah.
Yeah, and they'll just keep playing Battlefield 4 because that's the best one. Yeah. But they'll give this a spin, see what it's like. Yeah. And if it's the one, then it's the one, and everyone will move over to that one. Yeah. But it's like
unless it's Battlefield 1, which was not the one.
It was certainly
it wasn't.
Not. It was So I don't know. I'm looking forward to Battlefield 5, but all this kind of the breaking the game up afterwards, so you're getting elements. I mean, it's pretty exciting from the point of view of you buy a game and then you continually get things added afterwards. That's great. But if it's stuff that you would hope to be in there anyway, like, or things that have been in there in the past. Like, you know, I don't know. I don't
Imagine
know how I
buying
feel
a
about
sandwich and then they gave you like
the ham's coming in March.
You know, the ham's coming for dessert, and then you go, "Oh, I got 2 courses."
Yeah.
But really, it's just a cheese and ham
bread.
sandwich, and you got the ham later. Like you can't deconstruct thing and then go, "It's twice as good."
Yeah.
Especially,
We're not even charging you extra for it.
Yeah, exactly, and especially because it's January, after Christmas.
I've got to say as well, I've got to put my thing in. I just really don't like this thing of paying £80 for
early
a few days early access.
Yeah.
So Liam, it was what is it? Origin Premier is how much is it a year? Like £100.
It's quite expensive. Yeah, it's like EA's version of Game Pass
Yeah.
on PC, and if you do that, you get access to the full game first. I'm not sure what the exact date is, but it's the earliest possible date.
Yeah, even earlier than £80. But I'm assuming you don't own the game then. So if you stop paying,
if
you don't have it anymore.
Yeah, you cancel your sub, it's gone.
Whereas if you buy the £80 version of Battlefield 5,
it's yours,
isn't it? But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it's still, it's an extra £30 for 5 days early access to the game, which is a bit steep.
I mean, I don't want to bring us back to Red Dead Redemption, but in Red Dead Redemption 2, I pre-ordered it so I could get it day one digitally and preload it so we could record this podcast, you know, and so I could play it straight away. But it was there was something in it that was like, it was like just some free currency or something like that.
Yeah, you get $500,000 GTA $5.
What else do you get though? There's something else you
remember.
get.
It said something like a boost or an improvement or something.
Yeah,
I googled this before and I still couldn't find the result. Yeah. It just came up with all the different versions.
It was like a really vague bullet point in the PlayStation thing, and it just sounded like I don't want that. I don't want the fucking the
20% extra.
Yeah. I want to play the game as you made the game. I don't want to have a leg up, because what's the point of? I don't see the point of playing the game.
It's not the same. If we're talking about this now, like we just spoke about Red Dead for half an hour. Imagine you had double the money that me and Liam had. Because you pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't make a balanced conversation. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
No, it really doesn't. And then when all the characters are going, "Oh, we haven't got money. We need to scrape by. You got to get out." And it's like, what are you talking about? I've got $500 here.
Bed on gold bullion.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Pre-order bonus.
I just take my grill out of my mouth and go, "Yeah, fuck. Sorry, I haven't got any cash."
Shoot them with a gold bullet. Man.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just a weird thing where the pre-order, and it seems that if you do it digitally, it's just like inbuilt in the package as well. Like if it's physical, you've got to redeem it, right? Mm-hmm. Well, if you get it digitally, it's just in the game, so you have to have it, which is anyway. So that was Battlefield 5. So let's talk quickly about Spiderman.
Spider-Man,
Is it any good, Liam?
The DLC. So the first episode of The City That Never Sleeps, I believe it's called. The first chapter, called The Heist, came out on...
one of 3.
It's one of 3, yeah. It came out on 23rd of October. And I've played it to 100% completion.
Again.
Because it doesn't actually take that long. It takes like 5 to 6 hours if you want 100% the DLC.
Is that okay for you, do you think?
So I thought it's okay, yeah. Because if you buy the complete expansion pass, or they don't call it an expansion pass or whatever, it's like $15.99.
Spidey pass, isn't it? It's the Spidey pass.
I don't even... They literally just call it The City That Never Sleeps.
Spidey pass.
It'll never stick. No.
I can't.
So £15 for the trilogy.
$15.99 for all 3 bits of DLC, 2 of which aren't out yet.
So £16 for 3, and you've done the first bit, and it took you about 5 hours.
About
so
5
it's just
hours,
about £1 an hour.
So, if you do it like £1 per hour value, it works out all right.
Metric, but
it's not a great metric, but it works out that.
It should be £1 per goodness. Don't ask me how you work it out.
£1 per good. Yeah. That's one goodness, please.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is a game
60 goodnesses, isn't it? So is this ingrained in the single player? Or?
No, it's its own separate thing. So when you get the DLC, you boot up Spider-Man, you load into the world, open up your map. It's got a DLC tab, and you activate it, and it's like its own separate campaign, and it loads up that way. So it's not like ingrained or integrated into the main world. Yeah, because the map's the same. It's the same like open world map.
But you're just in a different like chapter.
Yeah,
because it is. Yeah, pretty much. That's how the Spider-Man the story is. You're in instances all the time. You're either in sunny daytime New York, or you're in sad rainy New York, or you're in whatever. Like it kind of it doesn't move on like a day-night cycle naturally.
Yeah.
It's based on what you're.
Yeah.
Basically, it's based
it does
on
that, but I think it's all at night in this one because it's meant to be like a nighttime heist type thing going on.
Sure.
So what's it about?
So it's about this isn't a spoiler, but Spider-Man starts with Kingpin getting arrested.
Yeah.
Everyone's favourite mob boss.
Battered
by Spider-Man. And so the whole point of this DLC is there's a power vacuum in the city, and all the mafia families are trying to take control. And then Spider-Man villain Hammerhead, who is a mob boss, he's trying to get everyone under his command. And so he hires Black Cat, the thief, and Spider-Man's former lover, villain, anti-hero.
He's telling me this on the way here again. I'm up to date now, mate. I'm feeling good.
But yeah, he hires Black Cat to get dirt and information on all these mob families to give him like the upper hand.
Right.
But she like sort of betrays him, and it's up to Spider-Man to work together with Black Cat and take down the mob.
But
so very superhero-ish.
Therefore,
that's the general like plot of this DLC.
Therefore, maintaining the power vacuum and opening the door to a potentially even more dangerous villain.
Yeah. But it seems like they're teasing. It seems like they're teasing Hammerhead as the big villain for this DLC.
Right.
For the whole trilogy.
For all 3 chapters.
Right.
Okay.
Because he doesn't actually appear in this first chapter.
Yeah.
But like he's always like in passing, or you see like his shadow or whatever, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
The shadow of Hammerhead sounds like a 50s B movie or something.
Yeah, it's definitely very recognisable if he's anything like Hammerhead.
As for gameplay, it's pretty much more of the same of the base game. They throw in more of the little random crime encounters, which is the last thing I wanted to see, to be honest. It's little red markers that pop up on your map.
Yeah.
They add in like 20 of them, which was not the most inspiring thing, but I did them all anyway because that's just how it is. And some story missions. I think like 2 or 3 side missions as well.
Yeah.
And then some more challenges with Screwball, who was in the main game, who was that weird, not like annoying like live streamer who was trying to like kill Spider-Man all the time.
Yeah.
It was more like
what?
That happens.
What's that?
There's a villain in the Spider-Man base game.
Twitch streamer.
It heavily sort of like a Hey Fellow Kids interpretation of a Twitch streamer, I guess.
Right, like a wacky Watch Dogs 2 hacker.
Yeah, kind of. And while she's like putting Spider-Man through the ringer, basically like trying to kill him, and mentions influencers has said a lot and stuff like that.
Oh no, right.
But yeah, so there's challenges like that. Overall, I'd say it's a decent bit of content added onto the game.
Yeah, worth money.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd recommend it straight off the bat because obviously there's 2 more chapters left, so I don't know how it's going to pan out.
Yeah.
But I'd say if you did like the base game Spider-Man, especially if you 100%ed it and you want more, it's definitely worth the time.
Okay.
So
cool.
That is Spider-Man: The City That Never Sleeps, Part 1.
Part 1.
I'm not
Stay tuned for Part 2.
Yeah,
to be continued.
Yeah. But it's good. I had a good time. It was worth my time and money anyway.
I'm not much of a DLC kind of guy, I think. I'm just kind of realising that after many, many years.
Yeah.
I can't really think of many DLCs
honestly,
that I've really played and really
Blood
enjoyed.
and Wine doesn't count.
It's not essential.
Bloodborne.
This one.
They've got...
All the Souls DLC sick. Properly good. And I would argue that both Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 DLC is core content. It's like, it's needed. It's so fucking important.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't play Old Hunters, how are you going to know about the doll? How are you going to know about all of that? And how are you going to know about, Orphan of Kos and all that? That whole story. It's so important. Same with Dark Souls. If you don't know about Slave Knight Gal and shit like that, you're not going to know.
It feels significant.
Yeah.
But,
Artorias and the Abyss in Dark Souls 1. Souls DLC is... If Sekiro DLC is anything to go by, I'll get the Season Pass. Yeah. Because it's properly good.
Well, talking of that and stuff, I've just pressed a link on my phone by mistake. Well, they've got that, From Software's got that new game coming up.
Oh, yeah, nice one. Sick,
I just pressed a button on my on my phone here.
So Deracine is out. So we're on a new releases segment of the podcast, right?
Yeah, well, I was in the middle of segueing when it all went disastrously wrong. Yeah. I pressed the button. Yes. So it's not this week, is it? Is it?
It's...
Oh yeah, it's next week. Deracine, that's the 6th of November, which is on PSVR.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's next week.
All right, so it's not even this week.
Yeah, but anyway, new releases time.
We're skipping ahead a bit.
Kind of vaguely on topic with Bloodborne, Call of Cthulhu.
Okay, you're fine. So, right, Call of Cthulhu then. The official video game.
What have you got to say? It's Call of Cthulhu, the official video game, which sounds extremely Call of Cthulhu to me. Anything called the official video game just so that's out on the 30th of October for PC, PS4 and Xbox One. So you've kind of been having an eye on this, right?
Yeah, of course. So
for good or ill?
Yeah, it's a weird one, innit? I love H.P. Lovecraft, read every single one of his stories, read every single one of his poems, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan, nerd out on him big time, read his little biography and all that, whatever. Love it, yeah? Core Lovecraft. Not Lovecraft-inspired shit, because apart from Bloodborne, they get it wrong, and it's cringy. It's annoying. I hate it. And this looks like it could be doing that, right? I hate it when they call stuff Call of Cthulhu, and it's Shadow over Innsmouth. First mistake that they make every single time. So there's this one and the Sinking City. And off the top of my head, I can't remember which one it is. I looked at the trailer and went, ugh. Is there going to be a madness meter? Ugh. Is there going to be a sanity meter? Ugh.
If I remember, this is the one that had that trailer of the guy shaving, but tentacles were sprouting out instead of his beard.
Yeah, so if this is the thing is, Amnesia did this. Amnesia swooped in, put a sanity bar there. I mean, Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem or whatever was Lovecraftian. I guess that did okay. But Amnesia, right, got that sanity bar, look at the bad guy and you go insane. And now every Lovecraftian game's got it. I'm going to get this game, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to come back fresh next week's podcast and I'm going to tell you all about it. And if it's good, it means a lot. Because I'm going to be looking at this like a fucking teacher with a red biro. I'm going to be marking it down. I hope it is good. And the reason I'm so harsh on it is because I want it to be good so fucking bad.
Right.
You can't call it the official video game and be shit. You can't do it.
Yeah.
It has to be good. And if it's not, I'm going to be so fucking annoyed. Well, I'm annoyed about it now, thinking about it, and it's annoying.
Calm down, and I'll make you a cup of tea in a minute. We're almost finished, right?
Is that out this week, Tuesday?
30th. So
I've got plenty of time to play it.
It's Tuesday.
Very soon, yeah.
I'll be getting this then, and I'll let you know what it's like. And I hope it is good, really. But,
me too, so you don't keep going on about it.
It's meant to be like a detective RPG, right?
Yeah, again, it's this weird one because Sinking City is another game being developed. It seems exactly the same.
Yeah, it's weird. The games always come out in batches. I always say this, but games always come out in batches. I always feel like either some market research firm is really good at doing their answers. Hey, there isn't a game vaguely about Cthulhu and stuff, and then they circulate the same findings to a lot of studios.
It's like when Armageddon and Deep Impact came out the same year.
In video
two
games,
films about asteroids.
in video games, the example I always give is Vietnam. Like there was Shell Shock,
Battlefield Vietnam,
Conflict
Vietnam, and one other one all at the same time.
Yeah, a Medal on a Rising Sun or something.
No, that was World War
II. Oh yeah. The noodles were hot and wet. We've already been through that before.
That's right.
Call of Cthulhu the video game. The basic. If there's no Cthulhu in it, it's going to be a big shame. And hopefully we get to see cultists. So if let's hope it's good. Well, more on that next week. Yeah.
Okay, I daren't say anything in case you shout at me for getting an opinion wrong.
Kick you under the table.
After that is Dream Daddy Dad's Rector's Cut. Dad Rector.
Oh yeah, this is that game.
Dad Rector is a horrendous name.
It's close to Dad Rectum, but this is a gay dad dating sim. So Dad Rectum would have been right on brand, actually.
It was made by.
That doesn't make it less horrendous. Dad Rector. I just dislike that as a word.
Yeah,
it's a bad attempt at a pun, but it's made by the Game Grumps. You know, the YouTube folks.
I think NoClip did something on this actually.
Like a documentary. Yeah.
But it is basically a visual novel about being a gay dad. So if you're into that, it's not like Doki Doki Literature Club where it's got a twist. This is actually just about being
straight up visual
hot single dad
looking
for other hot single dads.
Yeah.
But this time the Dad Rector's Cut. What didn't make it into the original that's going to make it into the Dad Rector's Cut? Well, if you want to find out, please let us know. I don't think I'll pick it up. I'm going to be playing Red Dead Redemption 2. So
shut up, man. Also, Lego Harry Potter Collection is coming to Nintendo Switch and Xbox One on the same day.
I played this on the PS4 for the first time. I bought it at Christmas, actually, so my little girl could play it. And she was quite interested in it. It's the entire Harry Potter collection. Yeah. All the way
there was 2 games, wasn't it? And it was 1
to 4, I think, and then 5 to 8 or whatever. And the controls are dead simple. You can play 2 players, so having it on the Switch, no brainer.
Yeah, quite one of the more popular Lego games, I would say. It's still kind of held up there as a
Yeah,
good series to play through. And then on Friday, I've missed a couple here, but it doesn't matter. On Friday, it's the 2nd of November. You got Diablo 3 on the Switch, the Eternal Collection.
Right. You played it.
I played this at EGX. I'm slightly tempted. The only thing that's stopping me is the massive amount of money I have to pay in order to play it. So I'm not. I don't think I'll be getting it day one, but I do like the idea of playing it on the Switch. I played a little bit of EGX. It was very enjoyable, good kind of co-op potential, and it just one of these games that makes absolute sense in handheld form.
Yeah, for sure.
Very easy to play and play on the go. So it was.
The graphics look really nice, condensed as well. I thought. Yeah. I think considering you imagine Diablo to only work on a big screen.
Yeah.
I think it looked pretty good, actually, on a nice small screen.
I remember when I fired up Diablo 3 the first time ever, Kate got it on day one, and I was in the character selection screen. I remember thinking, this looks like absolute dross. And the character models was obviously because you're far away. And
playing it on top down.
Yeah, but you don't get a nice character model in the character, like you do in Divinity Original Sin. The character models look amazing.
I imagine it'd be a waste of resources.
Yeah,
the engine,
but I was just because that was my first impression of the game, and I was like, this just looks like fucking shit, mate.
Yeah.
But you do that on a small.
But when you're about half a mile in the sky looking down, don't matter. Does it?
Exactly, and you couple that with the fact that it's handheld on a small fucking 7-inch screen or whatever. Perfect.
Yeah.
So that's Diablo 3 on the Switch. So that might be a potential big seller, I think, on the Switch.
Well, a few people will be interested in it for sure. I wonder how many people would be a repeat buyer, or how many.
Yeah, well, I would get it, but it's a full price game.
Yes,
which is putting me off, and I already own Diablo 3 and the expansion on PC,
which came out how many years ago?
Too. Yeah, it could really do with being £35.
If it was 30, I'd be tempted to go for it, but it's $49.99, so I can't. It's putting me off that price. I'm sad to say
they can get away with it, innit? That's the problem.
Yeah, because you're gonna have a lot of first time people, Nintendo fans have probably not played a Diablo before.
No. Yeah. Many of them, I imagine. Also, Nintendo fans, you've got Taiko no Tatsujin, the drum and fun
I've actually played the demo of this.
He cut you off, which means he's excited.
Right, I am a sucker for rhythm games. I don't know why, I just am. And they actually put a demo of this out on the Switch, and it was quite enjoyable, to be fair.
So this is a game about playing the drums.
But it's like the little, I think it's called a taiko drum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure.
And so you can get it. You can use motion controls, buttons, or you can actually buy a little drum with sticks and play it properly.
If you're gonna buy a drum game,
I think me and Liam played this at EGX last year.
We did. They had it set up on a PS2 last.
Yeah,
it was an old game.
Yeah, but this is just like the newest, and it's actually quite fun. It's good. I don't know why it was addictive.
On a Switch with the HD Rumble could probably work.
The motion control. I tried the motion controls and they didn't work too well.
I'm just seeing that. You remember the Nintendo Switch pre-release advert with a guy on an airplane slouching back playing a bit of Skyrim. Just imagine him playing some fucking drums.
Yeah,
some drums on an airplane.
Yeah. It's an old woman reading a magazine, looking at him like, what a dickhead.
It's
someone reading the Financial Times, and he's like,
he's business class because he's on an advert.
It's a good party game. If you've got mates, get some mates round and a crate of beer and a little drum, and you'll have a lot of fun. Okay. It's coming to PS4. It's coming to PS4 as well.
Taiko optional. All right, so that is everything, I think, for this week's podcast. It was a long talk about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
A little talk about Battlefield 5 and a little talk about Spiderman and some exciting new games that are coming out. But let's face it, it's kind of going to be. We're still in that, everything is cowering from Red Dead Redemption period.
Ground zero, isn't it?
Weirdly quiet, I feel like, because of Red Dead Redemption. It's
going to be Red Dead for the next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got, not this week, but maybe the week after or the week after, we've got Battlefield, Spyro, we've got some big games.
Trickling in again. But there's at least a week on either side. A week or two on either side of Red Dead where there was just not the big releases that you'd expect. If you look kind of last year or the year before, you'd just have Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, you'd have all these games just like fireworks one after the other.
Before the big Black Friday sales.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happened when you got an 80-foot tarantula of a game in it, man.
Indeed. Throw back to a past video. So That is the Special Moves podcast. I can't even remember what episode it is. Episode 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
I believe
Double
so.
digits, baby.
Yeah, my God, how it has flown. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and thanks for watching, especially if you have no interest in Red Dead Redemption. Really appreciate it.
I think that's about it for us in Red Dead
pretty
Redemption.
much, yeah. Very slight chance of some kind of gameplay or something, or
it might leak into next week's podcast.
Yeah, we'll probably have something to say next week. But as far as exclusively Red Dead content goes, don't worry. But you can't blame us. It's one of the biggest releases of the year.
It's the World Cup, isn't it? I've said it's the World Cup of games.
Yeah, so it'd be mad not to talk about it. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye bye.